this video, we're going to be covering another Amazon's interview question. This is question number 25 of Leetcode, reverse nodes in K group. We have gone through a question which was very similar in this video series, where we were actually reversing the linked list in pairs. So we were reversing two of the nodes at the same time. So in that case, that question could be translated as like the same question with k is equal to 2. But over here, k can be any number of times. So the way we're going to be doing it is so first of all, let's understand the question here. If we have been given 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the k is equal to 2, what they want us to do is to reverse 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and leave the 5 as it is. In this one, when we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're gonna take first three nodes, reverse them 3 to 1, and leave if it is less than. But if the total number of nodes which are left behind are less than k, we're not gonna touch them. Okay, in terms of algorithm is gonna be the only thing we're gonna be doing different other than what they are asking us to do is to actually go through the nodes. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say that the k is equal to 3, we are gonna iterate through the linked list in order to calculate a variable n, which is the total number of nodes in it. So the first thing we're gonna do is to calculate the total number of nodes in it. So once we hit null, we can say that total number of nodes are 5. The reason we are doing it is that in the next iteration, all we have to do is to take the k elements at the same time. So the first thing we're going to be doing is to keep our dummy node. Let's just call it dm by over here. So we're going to take k elements at a time, reverse them, move to the next k elements, reverse them, move to the next k elements. That's all in terms of the algorithm we have. So we have this I. So there are a couple of things in here. Let's call it previous, right? And then we have this as tail, right? So what you're gonna be doing is, again in this for loop, we are going to start from the previous equals to the dummy. That's the first thing we wanna initiate, and then as long as the k is n is less than equal to k, and every single time we are subtracting k from n. So the first time the n was 5, the next time we're gonna subtract 3 from it, so it's gonna become 2. So as long as the n is greater than or equal to k, we're gonna keep doing this loop of taking the k elements from here to the k elements, and then reverse them, and then move to the next one. So there are only 4 steps in here for reversing. Let me just go through here, and then we're gonna, so let's say we initiated with one node which was previous. Then we said this is what we're gonna call the tail. We're gonna have another element and another element. This is, you can call it tail dot next dot next. There are 4 steps in it. The first step is you say that I want to save this thing, meaning I want to call it something else so that I can come back to it. So we're going to call it next. Okay. Just remember the first step is to keep a copy of tail dot next as next. So that's the new name of it. Then the first thing is over here, line number 28 is that you say that the tail next dot next is equal to previous dot next. So tail next dot next means that we want to get rid of this one and we want to have it equals to previous dot next. So this is gonna point to this one. That's our step number 2. The third step is that we want to say that the previous dot next is equal to tail dot next. So the previous dot next is gonna get removed, and that's gonna point to tails dot next. That would be the third step. And the fourth step is that we want to say that the tail dot next is equal to next. Tail dot next is going to be equal to the one which we saved. It's going to be equal to like this. Okay, coming back here, if we see what just happened is we have our P in here. This is pointing to something which is pointing to tail, which is pointing to this was next. That's it. For the next iteration, all we need to do is to say that the previous has become equal to the tail, and the tail is going to go to the next one. So this is going to become tail, and this is going to become previous. Again, just saying this, that now if you see, look here one more time, this is now P. Let's assume that we have few more elements, the tail, and we have 2 elements in here. So the first thing again is make a copy of their tail dot next dot next. So we're gonna say that this is n. The second step is that the tail dot next, we just saved that one, so that is going to be removed, and that is going to be equal to the previous dot next. So the tail dot next is going to become equal to the previous dot next. The third step is that the previous dot next is going to become equal to tail dot next. And the last thing is that the tail dot next is going to become equal to this. Again, if you see what just happened is that this P is still there. Next we have an element, next we have our tail, and next we have our next element. So again we're gonna say that the P is gonna become equal to tail, and the tail is gonna be equal to tail dot next. We can keep going on, and as you can see that we are reversing in chunks. So this is basically once we do all of them, we're gonna end up having k number of elements reversed, and that would be it. So let's go through the code one more time. We have n equal to 0, and we traverse through it just to calculate our n. So we just went through the one iteration, and so that we can have total number of nodes in our linked list. We made dummy equal to the list nodes of 0, and then we made dummy dot next equal to head. As I said, we're gonna initiate our previous list node to dummy, and the tail is also gonna become equal to head, just like here. We initiated the dummy, became equal to the previous node, and the tail is equal to the head. This is also called head. Okay, and we're gonna, as long as the n is greater than equal to k, we're gonna keep doing that, and every single time when we reverse k elements, we're gonna subtract k from the n. Okay, so the way this is these are the 4 lines how we are actually reversing node by node, and we're gonna be doing it k times. And previous is equal to tail every single time. Once we are done rotating k times, we're gonna say that the previous has become equal to k tail, and the tail is equal to tail dot next. And in the end, we're gonna be returning dummy dot next. We are not using any extra space, so in terms of the space complexity, it's gonna be a constant space. In terms of the time complexity, we are, even though we are traversing the linked list 2 times, still it's linear. And one time we traversed it for getting the total number of nodes. The second time it's gonna be basically going traversing it in k, in chunks of k, and then that's how we are. So it's linear time complexity. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.